Hello and welcome. This is a very, very special edition. Today, we are going to have a really, really brilliant discussion. Today, we're going to be talking about the issue that we have been advertising, and it has to do with obviously with the fuel. We're talking about how we are creating a better Africa, how we are making Africa a more sustainable, energy sustainable continent, and how we are going to be able to spread that across the world. Today, we're going to be talking with, let's just call them the team. They could be called the A team. They could be called the brainy team, whichever. But they're here to discuss and talk about all of that. So, without much ado, so let's just get into it and get this thing started. But first of all, it's usually on a good day you say ladies first and all that. But the reason why we're going to go ahead with just that is that the team that we have gathered today, this very, very special team that we have gathered today, has a lot of women involved in it, and they are kind of, a strong push in achieving what we are hopefully going to achieve in not too distant future. So let's just get started. So today we have there's Blessing with us, there's Mervin with us, there's Omona who just joined us just now. We also have Chris Chukunta, we have Olumide, we have Eziagbo, we have Kelvin, and so many others will be joining us as we proceed, as we move forward. But before we do anything at all, like I promised, let's just go into it and invite the very, very first guest to get things started. And we're talking about Mervin. So, Mervin, if you're there and waiting for me, then I will quickly just take myself off the solo mode and drag you in here to get the things, to get things cracking. So, let's see, just hold on and let's have you. So, we have Mervin here. So, hello, Mervin.
Hi,
Talk to me.
A. Good
How are
evening.
you doing?
Hmm.
Good evening. Good
Very well,
evening
thank
to you.
you.
So, Mervin, before you go continue, I'm just putting all the faces that we have, some of the faces that we have, some of the guests that we have right now. But like I said, we're going to be talking to you first. So you're going to lay out the discussion that we have today if you get things started. Is that okay?
That's okay.
Okay, so let's go. Mervin, tell me about yourself. Who are you?
So I'm Mervin Azeta, and I am an energy professional. I currently
Yes.
work with Schlumberger as a product and service delivery manager, overseeing operations, product and service delivery, employee engagement, and even customer satisfaction for two business lines across Nigeria and West Africa.
Okay. All right. So deep, deep, knee deep into the energy sector. That we know that energy has been an issue not just in Nigeria but also across Africa and across the world. Now we've talked about the key dates that a lot of people talk about is 2030. Right. Let's keep that on the burner for a little while. Okay. Why is this summit so important?
It gives us a platform to explore opportunities for increasing our energy supply. It helps
Yeah.
us understand what our real challenges are with getting, 100% energy access for Nigeria. And we know that today we don't have even close to 60%. We're still struggling somewhere around 50, and that's a mess for a country
Yeah.
that is as big and as super you know important for the continent as a whole.
Okay.
We know
Yeah.
as well that with the conversations happening and hopefully actions coming off that, we will be able to drive our progress on the energy transition. We'll be able to accelerate that and obviously include as many stakeholders as possible. I think it's very important that we have all the stakeholders engaged, and that conference gives us an opportunity for that.
Okay, but why now? Why is it? Why is the time now? Why is it so special? Why is it now that is all these years we've been beating the drums about all of this, but why is it now that it is so special? What makes it different right now?
Okay, we've just come off conversations like the COP26, where we've seen for a fact that if we do not act now, we would
Yeah.
be left behind. And we certainly do not want to be left behind. There's just too many risks, involved, and we don't
Yeah.
want to put the risk of our future or future generations, there. We need to do whatever we can, and we need to do it as fast as we possibly can. We can't
Okay.
wait.
Okay, so that's good to hear. So what we'll do, don't go anywhere just yet. We will continue in a little bit. I want to bring Blessing on, if you don't mind. Blessing, I will bring you on so that we get to hear from you in a little bit. Okay, so right now we are talking to Mervin, and we're going to get Blessing on. So Blessing, tell us, this team that is packed together, what is it? What are they? Why? How is it possible for you to be able to work with these people to achieve the goal that you're hoping to achieve? What is it about this whole team? So what is it about them that makes them so special?
Okay. Thanks for bringing me on this evening. Hello everyone. My name is Blessing. The crucial thing is, like Mervin has mentioned, there is a timeline that we're working towards, and now
Yeah.
is the time for energy. Now is the time for energy as well in Nigeria. So as we continue on this journey towards a decade of gas in our energy transition, we need to act, and we need to act now. Now, the team that you see here today are volunteers who are specialists, professionals in what they do in the field of energy, and they have seen and heard the call towards this Youth Idea Lab that we've been pushing, and they've come together with their expertise, bringing on board their network to make sure that this happens. So we're talking about the NIS Youth Idea Lab 2022, and that's why we're here today.
Okay, so just hang on there. Don't you go anywhere just yet. So let's talk to this young man here. I'm talking about Olumide. Olumide, so you have the floor right now. You are not in Lagos. Let's be clear about that, right? You are in Port
in Port
Harcourt.
Harcourt.
In Port Harcourt.
Yes.
So basically, what the reason why I'm putting this out there is to show that this team literally cuts across Nigeria as a whole. So a lot of brilliant minds from different parts of Nigeria. You are knee deep also in the energy sector. So what is the impact that you're hoping to make through this summit?
Yes, one of my biggest concerns has always been the fact that most of the technology that we've used for oil and gas exploration, production, and even distribution in the past 40, 50 years has been imported. And now that it's a decade of gas was launched last 2020, and it is said that Nigeria is more of a gas nation, upon recent discoveries, proven and unproven reserves. It is said that Nigeria is more of a gas nation than a crude oil, than an oil nation. So I'm very passionate about saying that we are able to grow our technology locally, and that's why I'm very passionate about the Youth Idea Lab, because if there is no strategic and dedicated approach, to get innovations and inventions, to stir them up, we will still have to export all the technology that we'll use, even as we pursue cleaner energy. So I've been talking to inventors, even those outside of the energy space, because there's really a big detachment between the oil and gas and or energy and our inventing populace, which is youth. They are more familiar with fintech, biotech, agri-tech, but the oil and gas, now called energy, has always been very distant from them. So I've been taking the message that if we've been able to do well in these other areas, fintech, biotech, agri-tech, we can also do it in energy. So I'm very glad to be part of this, advocating for a new era,
Okay.
in our technology. Yeah.
Okay. So thank you very much, Olumide. Before that, we were talking to Mervin, and of course, we're talking to Blessing. We're going to take on Kevin now. Kevin, you're there.
Yes, I am.
Okay. So you are part of the Energy Institute, I guess?
Yes. Energy
Yes.
Institute.
Okay.
Correct.
The Energy Institute, and you're talking about young professionals, right? What does that even mean? Well,
So-
why? How is it possible for young individuals to be part of the energy sector? Because the image that we've always had over time has been, we see a lot of the daddies and mummies and the older generation claiming to wanting to move the needle. What impact are the young people going to actually make within the the energy sector, especially when it comes to clean fuel?
Thank you very much, Ehi. And I'd like to say that we all know that times are changing. The way things are done, of course, are changing also. I think that there's beginning to be a handshake between the older generation and, of course, young professionals. And one of the things that the Energy Institute does is to provide a platform for young professionals in the energy industry, and for those that, of course, are willing to come on board the energy industry. And that's why you have the Young Professionals Network. And what this simply means is that you have young professionals within 5 years of work experience and those under 35. So
Okay.
what we have simply done is to provide that platform, and that's why this partnership is happening between the Energy Institute Young Professional Network and SWII to see how to work towards expanding that network and to get more young professionals to come out. And just like Olumide has clearly mentioned, that a lot of young people understand the technology of modern times and
True.
the whole terms of IoT, embedded systems. They understand these things. So, and they think differently. So when you talk about clean fuel, clean energy, really they understand what you're talking about because they really want a shift, right? And they are
Okay.
driving towards that shift. Yes.
Okay. We still have in the green room a couple more guests. We're talking about Chris Chukwunta. We have Dr. Wisdom Enang. We have Omona Okonkwo. I know you guys are there. Eziabo, I know you're there. Dozier, I know you're there. Hopefully you can hear me as I am saying out your names. I know that we had to hold Mervin down because I know she's really, really busy. So Mervin, please bear with us. Still stay by right there. We're still going to be talking to you in a little while. If you guys don't mind, I would like to bring on Dr. Wisdom Enang to share his own opinion on this one. So hello, Dr. Wisdom Enang.
Hello, sir.
Yes. So give us your own perspective. I think hopefully you've heard some of the questions that we have been asking. We've been a lot of opinions that have been shared. It would be interesting to know your own take on how we can move and involve young people in creating the kind of fuels that will help Africa stay as sustainable as possible.
Okay, thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. So I'm personally very excited about the Youth Lab Idea Lab, because for me it's a good handshake, between the older generation, as we've said on the call already, and the younger ones that are more hungry for the technology. They're in the environment where the technology has been tested. I mean, just in my work environment as an operations engineering consultant, I find that there are technologies that I haven't even heard of. And I'm wondering, am I keeping up enough with the technology? Because some of them come accidentally. So this is a very fantastic platform that would allow some of those ingenious ideas to come to the fore. And we could give them a platform to even test. And ultimately, by listening to them, we'll be able to challenge some of those underlying assumptions that we had already about how to solve energy problems, or some of those technology that we thought was even possible. So this is one that I'm really excited about. And I'm particularly, I feel very, very energized to advocate this, because I do know that away from the sort of conventional technology that we're used to in the oil and gas sector, There are brilliant ideas out there, and as Olumide said earlier, the best thing that we can do in Africa is to actually be the one driving the technology that solves the problem that we have. Because at the end of the day, what we need is clean energy, not necessarily green energy in isolation of other forms of energy. There will always be a mix of energy, which fuel will play a big role. We just need to make sure that we're getting that energy exploited in a very clean way. So I'm really excited about this one.
Brilliant, brilliant. So we have spoken to basically all of you on this within this frame right now. So I think I'm going to go to one of our guests, one of the ladies again, if you guys don't mind. And I'm talking about Omona Okonkwo. So let's welcome Omona Okonkwo to the chat. Hello there. How are you today?
Everyone.
Okay.
I'm fine. Good evening.
Yes, good evening. So you are, I'm guessing, one of the youths that we have on the group. How does it make you feel that you are part of a change-making community right now? Because nothing like this, I have never in my, wildest imagination, I have never seen anything this fantastic. How does it make you feel that you are part of a team as brilliant as this?
Well, it makes me happy and it makes me feel like the youth are represented in Nigeria, particularly because we know that for some time now, for a long time rather, the youth have always been kind of isolated from happenings in oil and gas in Nigeria. And now that the world is gearing towards the era of clean energy or green energy, it is good to have the youth on board. And I must say this, when it comes to clean energy technologies, the youth have it all. They know, they have the knowledge, they understand what it's all about, right? So it is time for the youth to have a representation. So if you're talking African energy transition, you have to bring the young people into it. Now, I'm not just talking about the youth when it comes to people that have graduated from the universities. I'm talking about students, even in schools, in primary schools, in secondary schools. You need to inform them, you need to make them aware that, okay, this is where the world is right now. This is where we are with climate change. And this is where the world is gearing towards when it comes to energy transition, especially in Africa. Now, we know Africa is energy starved. And like Dr. Wisdom said earlier, he said that, of course, it doesn't mean that fossil fuels are going to be abandoned, especially in Africa, right? So what we need is to make sure that we are bringing on technologies that enable carbon capture, utilization, and storage. We're bringing on technologies that aid clean energy transition in Africa. So I think it's a great idea, and it's fantastic for the youth to finally be represented and for them to have a platform to be heard, to showcase their skills, to showcase their abilities. Now, we need that in Africa. We need it because we are energy starved. And if we're going to keep exploring fossil fuels, oil and gas, we need carbon capture. And to have that era of carbon capture, we need new technologies. For renewable energies, we need energy storage. We all know that the solar panels do not work at night. So how do we make sure that solar panels work at night? We need energy storage. And for that to happen, you need to bring the youth on board so they can invent and they can even improve on existing technologies. So that's just it.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. I had spoken with you earlier, I think yesterday, when we're still getting prepped for this, and you had mentioned, the passion in you and the energy sector and clean energy. I see that you were telling the truth on that one. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to bring in another guest here, and his name is Chris Chukwunta. Hello, Chris. Welcome to the panel. Yes, welcome to the discussion board that we're having right now. You heard what Omona said. I don't know if you heard what Mervyn said, what Olumide said, what Kelvin said, and of course Dr. Wisdom himself. And they have shown so much passion and interest in pushing this project forward. And we're hoping and looking forward to a time when Nigeria will be the leader when it comes to clean fuels, not just across Africa, but also across the world. Now, I know that it's not going to be easy. First of all, you would like to, if it's possible for you to introduce yourself, tell us what your background is, and of course, tell us what challenges do you see, going forward when it comes to changing minds, changing hearts when it comes to clean fuel in Nigeria.
Thanks a lot for having me here. So in terms of an introduction, my name is Chris Chukwunta. I've just transitioned from the oil and gas after being in the oil and gas for a little over 10 years. And now I'm into renewable energy, doing solar installs, wind at the International Renewable Energy Systems, Inc. To respond to the question about what the challenges I see as far as technology deployment and as far as development of the right kind of framework and attitude towards delivering the change that we expect to have in the energy mix in Nigeria and globally, and Nigeria leading that charge. The challenge I see for a start is that, number one, there's quite a bit of gap between the very solid professionals we have on the show who are speaking actively and talking actively, and a number of people out on the streets who basically don't see the climate crisis that we're in as something that is as serious as it should be. I'll give maybe a bit of background to that. So today we hear of the issues with the herdsmen coming down from their pastoralist area out in a bit of the Sahel area of Nigeria and coming down south. And we're seeing quite a bit, a lot of clashes between herders and farmers. A lot of people still don't know that insecurity that we see as a result of that move or that massive movement of herders down south is as a result of climate change. I think, for instance, just talking about the drying up and the drying up of the Lake Chad and all the water bodies up in the Sahel area, and how that has seriously impacted on the security situation in the country, is something that, if we talk a bit more about how that is an issue, I think it will be something that will change hearts and minds. I mean, just touching on the hearts and minds part. I happened to be at the COP26, and I heard quite a lot of the negotiations that happened there. One of the commitments that we've made as from the Africa group of negotiators is that we're going to do our best to meet the demands and the targets that have been set, both by the nationally determined contributions in the Paris Agreement and the long-term implementation strategies going to 2050. But the argument that kept coming back is, guys, Africa contributes less than 3% of the emissions globally. Why is Africa being forced to make strong commitments? And the answer is simple. The answer is we are disproportionately affected by the impacts of the climate change, and we need to also rise up to the challenge to do something. How do we lead that process? How do we become the leader as far as implementing the right kind of energy strategy, implementing the right kind of policies to make that transition happen quickly? I think, in my mind, that the long-term low emissions development strategy that we've seen come out of the climate decks in the Nigerian Ministry of Environment is a fantastic one. Today, we have I think we're the ninth biggest gas. We've got the ninth biggest gas reserve in the world. We've got the 10th biggest oil reserve in the world. And the need to draw in quite a lot of development of low carbon technologies is quite appreciated, and it's been worked hard at based on the reports coming out of the Ministry of Environment. I know it's been mentioned, we need to do a bit more carbon capture and storage. We need to look at more efficient technologies. We need to look at alternative energies. We need to ramp up our gas-powered systems because it's a decade of gas. And then we need to also ramp up our hydropower and look at how we cut down flaring. All of those things are key. One thing I think we also need to do very quickly is to accelerate that renewable energy master plan that we've developed within the Ministry of Environment to hit at least 26.7% of renewable energy contribution to Nigeria's energy mix by 2025. It's an ambitious target, but to be able to achieve it, we need a lot more youths involved. We need a lot more mid-career professionals involved in that transition. I'll take a pause there and hand it back to you.
We can't hear you.
Yeah, I said I'll take a pause.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
yes.
You can hear me now. Okay, so I'll give it to you now. So this is what's going to happen. Yeah, I know that we had to literally pin Mervyn down, right? I know you. I promised that I won't hold you longer than necessary. So before I come to Ezeagbo and Dozie, I would just like Mervyn to give us one last shout. Basically, just tell us why it is very, very vital that young people should come and get involved in this project, if you don't mind.
I absolutely love that question, and I was really going to say something about it. I've had some very brilliant responses from the panelists, but one thing I wanted to add is the fact that if we're going to unlock a just and sustainable energy transition, we can't afford to leave youth behind. We must engage them. They certainly need a formal seat at the energy transition decision-making table to unlock jobs, to unlock radical innovation, and even positive disruption of the energy sector. Young people can bring a healthy dose of creativity, innovation, passion to drive some of the changes that we want. We do need the innovative ideas to obviously change out some of the dirty fuels that we have. We need innovative ideas to fix some of the environmental challenges we have. We need innovative ideas to fix our policy. For some reason, we have some good policies, but they can't be implemented. When young people are involved, they can help us think through the implementation process and deliver on the implementation for sustainable growth and development of our economy. We also really do need to be aware that a transition, no matter what kind of transition we want, will only be possible by engaging the next generation, whether they are artists, whether they're engineers, whether they're technicians or computer scientists or politicians. We must engage them alike. Thank you.
Okay, brilliant. So thank you very much, Mervyn, for making time for us today. And hopefully, we will definitely get you back again as soon as possible. I know you have to run off, but I hope that's okay. Just hold on 1 second before you take off. We have, I know. I just want to keep you guys here as long as I can because there's so much brilliant information coming out of you guys. So much stuff that I'm telling you that this is actually, mind blowing for me sitting here and talking to you guys right now. But before that, I just want to add Ezeagbo. Dozie, I know you're there. Let me add Ezeagbo right now to this. Hello. Can you hear me? Can you see me? You're I think you're
Yes, I
you're
can.
muted. Yes. Okay, now you're there. Okay, so Ezeagbo, how are you today?
I'm doing good. How are
Okay,
you doing?
where are you exactly?
I'm in Lagos.
Okay,
at the
you're in
moment.
Lagos. Oh, you're in Lagos. And we've been talking about the summit coming up quite soon, in a few weeks from now, on the 27th, if I'm correct. Now, what part are you playing to make sure that this is perhaps the most successful summit when it comes to young people across Africa and across the world?
So one important role I'm playing, I am the chair of the Energy Institute's Young Professional Network in Nigeria. And publicity is one big deal for us, that we're making sure that we get most people and most youth involved in this Youth Idea Lab, because the Idea Lab is one interesting lab that we can get so many youths doing so much in the energy space, both the clean energy and gas energy, and involved in energy transition, to actually come and play a role and exhibit their product, not only their product, also their idea to people around. Because getting a product in the market is one big deal, but publicity is another big issue that we need to make sure that youth are not just producing, but they're actually creating awareness with what they have and what they can use to actually make this country as a whole, that is Nigeria and Africa as a whole, better in form of the energy sector.
Okay, so how do we compete? How do we compare to other countries? Other, should we say, more developed? Is that still politically correct to say that? When it comes to this, how do we compare and compete with other countries that are more developed in terms of this kind of project? How do we measure up? Especially now that we're just starting, especially now that we're just getting a hang of it.
So competition, I would say, did not just start at this, it's not just the beginning of the Youth Idea Lab, and competition with other other people globally is not something we are pushing. We are just trying to make sure we create a lot of awareness in the sense that we bring youth in Nigeria out in public to compete to their global competitors in terms of the energy sector, and not just being involved locally, but they're actually applying so much they are doing internationally.
Okay, all right. So now we have, if you guys don't mind, I'm gonna bring Dozier into this conversation. I know he's been waiting quite a while. If you don't mind, Dozier, I'm going to bring you in now. Hold on, Dozier. So here you are. So Dozier, first things first, please tell us who you are. And, let's get to meet you and know exactly how you are participating, what energy, positive new energy you're bringing into this project, which, the summit that takes place in a couple of weeks from now, the Youth Idea Lab.
Okay, thank you so much, Ali. Good evening, everyone. My name is Dozier. I'm a co-founder at Quadloop. So what we do at Quadloop, we harvest electronic waste to build sustainable hardware products. So what's that? There's so much electronic waste around. I mean, looking at Nigeria alone, Lagos alone, we have about 70% of e-waste lying around, laptop batteries and what have you. So what we do basically is that we harness this waste, use them to build products like solar lanterns, solar home systems for rural developing areas. So yeah, so that is basically what I
do. Right. Okay, a little background noise. Yeah. I hear that. Yep, typical Lagos.
Right. So aside from that, I run a telecom servicing firm whereby we do outsourcing for. We get job from telecom companies that will do some sort of solar installation hybrid systems for telco sites. So that's basically what I do per se.
Okay, so tell us more about the summit coming up. Let's assume I'm an outsider, I'm a newbie on this platform about the summit that's coming up. So give me something. What am I looking forward to?
Yeah, so for the summit, right, it involves youth, like I said. So youth somehow is something that we need to really look into, right? For this summit, that the idea hub that's coming up, I think for me, I think it's something that we just have to carry all the youth along, people that are into energy and people that are whatnot. So for me, for per se, I'm just expecting a wow from the youth, really.
Okay, so let's talk about. I want to talk a little bit more about energy. For this, I would like to ask Olumide to add some value to it, and I will also talk to Dr. Wisdom in a little bit. So Olumide, is it possible for you to differentiate? Can we give us, as basic as possible, the difference between clean fuels and green fuels or green energy, as basic a clarification as possible?
Okay, clean is as little of carbon as possible. Let me try and define it that way. and then I may not be able to define green very perfectly in the midst of where Dr.
He
Wisdom
will
and
back you up.
Beverly,
He will back you up. He will back you up.
you know, and green. Let me just stop here. Let me just stop here and let them do the technical definition.
Okay. Okay, so let's bring in the doctor, I guess, right? Okay, so here you are. So everything there now, you're apparently you're on mute. So if you open up your microphone so that we can hear you. Okay.
Okay, thank you
All right.
very much.
Yes, you're on. Okay, basically this thing's happened. I see that we have a lot of eyes on the project today.
So basically, green energy is. Sorry, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, sorry, I got a call copy.
Okay. Okay, you're still with us. Okay, well, while you're sorting that out, I will jump.
Okay, from natural sources.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, sorry, I think I'm back. Sorry, I'm trying
yes,
to. Let me just. Okay, yeah, sorry. So green energy, those is energy that is generated from natural sources like sunlight, things like plants, and basically the commonality between them all is that there is very low carbon footprint. But here's the thing: when you're talking about energy, the most comforting drive, and I'm going to talk about talking about clean energy. The most comforting thing to do is actually to go, or the most convenient, sorry, is to say, okay, because they naturally have low carbon footprint, let's just focus on them. And that's what everyone is trying to, everyone concerned is saying, no, that's not the answer. Because you need to look at the energy content itself, because it has a low carbon footprint, it has a low carbon content, then of course the energy content is, you still need a balance, and you can't even get enough of the volume of energy that you're looking at. So that's where clean energy comes into play. It's basically advocating that we have, say, fossil energy, but if we look at the entire value chain of the fossil energy production and consumption, what can we do? First at the production stage, and then at the processing stage, and then at the consumption stage, to ensure that fossil fuel is cleaner, or every other form of energy is cleaner and safer. So that's where the difference is. The other one is just talking about bioenergy, basically. That's sort of what is gotten from nature. That's what green energy talks about. And this sort of clean energy talks about what are the steps that you can take to reduce the carbon footprint of a carbon-rich energy source.
Okay, so I want to bring in perhaps one of the most passionate ones in this group. I'm talking about you, Omano. I know you have the energy. So Omano has the energy. So Omano, I want you to tell us something here. Okay, now we're talking about, let's look at the summit in itself. Okay, I had asked Blessing the same question before. Let's say you're the one who is the innovator. You have this brilliant idea. How do you convince someone who is within your own age range, within your own community? We like to say community nowadays, right? How would you convince someone within this community that, okay, this is the right thing to do? The stuff that you're going to put out there is going to be supported. There are a lot of people who are interested in being part of this. How do you convince someone to come up with these brilliant ideas and they will be supported?
Okay. The first thing I would do is to show them or tell them the existing realities. Now, one of those realities is we need these technologies, right? Africa or Nigeria needs to transition to clean energy or cleaner energy. Now, the first thing I would do, like I said, is to tell them existing realities and show them the existing realities. Now, let me give you a typical example. Yesterday, there was this conference, this webcast that happened with participants from the EU and the AU, following from past interactions. And then the president of Senegal, Macky Sall, he said that if we want young Africans to stay in Africa and not migrate out, we have to make sure that they have access to resources right here in Africa. Now, for someone that is young, I would say, if you want a better Africa or you want a better Nigeria, this is what you need to do. You need to get in the process. If you have the skills, you have the talent, you have the abilities, you know and understand what needs to be done, then you need to get into it, and you need to make sure that you are inventing, you are innovating. You need to make sure that you are out there working with those that have the capacity to support you. It's not just about sitting down and complaining, oh, well, nobody's saying anything, nobody's doing anything. That's where advocacy comes in. If you advocate for it, you will definitely get it. If you try as much as possible to connect yourself to those who have the capacity to make sure that this innovation is mass produced, or the whole process begins to happen, then you have to put yourself into the process. And you don't just do that by complaining. You just don't do that by going on social media and talking about it. Oh, well, this is what we should have done. What are you doing to make sure that you are in that process? So you get into the process. It's not just about complaining, right?
Yep.
So that is what I would do. And one of the existing realities is we all know what traditional biomass does to people, right? I'm talking about cooking with firewood instead of LPG, which is cooking gas. I'm talking about, people relying mostly on charcoal to cook. Now, women are the most affected by all these things. If we look at it from that angle, the human interest angle, then I think everyone will want to get on board. And another thing, if the government, those in government, will actually just listen to the people, will listen and do what needs to be done. Like Mervyn mentioned something about policy implementation. For some reason, particularly in Nigeria, we talk a lot, we draft documents and all that, we have all these summits and all that, but when it comes to implementation, there is kind of like a disconnect. So if we want to be taken seriously by the young people, we need to show them that, okay, yes, the government, we are committed to listening to you. We are committed to making sure that we take your innovation or we take your ideas and we mass produce them for the benefit of the whole country or the whole continent.
Brilliant. I did not expect anything less from you, Omano. Thank you very much. While we're still, reeling and soaking all that information in, I would like to introduce Nuruddin onto this discussion that we have here. So Nuruddin is in the green room now. I will bring him on right away. Hello, Nuruddin. Can't hear him. So while he's trying to figure that out, I would like to talk to. Okay, Nuruddin, are you there now? These things happen. Well, he'll figure that out quickly. So while he's trying to figure that out, I want to talk to Ezeagbo. Maybe perhaps the same question to you. We haven't heard much from you right now, but perhaps the same question to you, just as I asked Omano. So please let me know exactly what would you say to the young people right now that, hey, it's time for action. Get involved.
So there's a lot to say to the youth to get involved in the energy space, because energy is vital for us to sustain ourselves. It's vital. Cooking, electricity, there will be no innovation without energy. Is us building a better tomorrow for ourselves, because the youth, that is people at my stage, less than 35, or let me just say also 40, less than 40, also have the opportunity of pushing the energy sector. So us pushing the energy sector in next 2050, there are better ways for us to do things. There are better ways for us to have electricity without us inhaling hazardous gas that is affecting our health. And when we talk about looking at the rural and the urban area, we can see that there's so much more to do in the rural area, that the youth need to get involved to make sure that we are very innovative with what we are doing, and we're trying to make sure that whatever technology that is being invoked currently, we can get to like renovate it to be better than how it was. So I would just say that the youth and everyone needs to get involved, not just the youth, because also the older colleagues just need to get involved in terms of pushing the youth and pushing everyone out in terms of funding, in terms of making sure that the youths are in alignment with what we're trying to achieve, and they are very supportive, because one thing we do as the youth is we try to push out our ideas. So what we need is for the older colleague also to be very supportive with us, make sure that we're not just producing, but also creating awareness. They are pushing us forward to the front seat, not just, oh, they are youths, they should stay behind, let the older colleague come. So I feel youth just need to get involved, and we just need to like break the whole barrier with the whole age limit, and make sure that we're pushing ourselves out there and pronouncing more and making sure, because the future belongs to us more than the older
Hey,
ones.
wow,
Thank you.
wow. I see Blessing is nodding her head to that one. Like I said earlier, if you're just joining us right now, if you're just here right now, if this is you're just passing through, it is very, very vital that you stick around, you stick with us, and you watch what is going on, because the future of Nigeria, the future children of Africa, the future of children of the world, this is very important for them, for healthy living, for clean air, for everything that we do. This is vital. Hopefully, Nuruddin, you're ready now. Are you
Yeah, I
ready?
hope you can hear. Yeah, I hope you can hear me now.
We can hear you. We can hear you.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, I'm
Okay.
excited to be here. Yeah, my name is Nuruddin, the CEO of Sirius X Energy, the startup from Kano State. I'm excited to meet you this evening.
Where are you right now? Where's your location?
Yeah, right now I'm in Kano State right now.
Okay. So your take on not just clean fuels, cleaner fuels, sustainable energy future for Africa. Would also like to hear your take on the Youth Idea Lab coming up quite soon, March the 27th. So just go ahead. Let us know your take. Let us know your thoughts about all of it, this entire project.
Yeah, this is a very good initiative for youth within the country. Like here in Kano State, to be Bayero University to be precise, we have many youths that have different idea on renewable energy for sustainable future, but they don't know where to take their idea up to. They have crazy ideas, but they don't really know where to take the idea to. This kind of program will eventually accelerate what they are really working on. Yeah, like in the university, we have a club in the university which is called the Energy Club, in which we bring students from different departments, different faculty, irrespective of the program they are studying, to come and present their ideas they have to us. So, and after the presentation of the idea, where to take the ideas to, we have the challenge of where we can to assist the student to where to take the ideas to. But this kind of program will eventually help the youth to know, or to help the youth to know how they can implement their idea to the real world.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you very much. I want the next one. I want to talk to Olumide now. Olumide has been pretty quiet. Now, Olumide is incidentally the head of Mari Tech Energy Services Limited. You're based in Port Harcourt, is it?
Yes, Port Harcourt.
In Port Harcourt. Now, how did you get involved in this project? How did you? I mean, was there something that you saw? Was there some flair? Was there something special about it that you thought to yourself, okay, definitely this is something I want to get involved with? What is it that drew you to Youth Idea Lab?
Okay, I was part of NIPS 2021. and I saw what a formidable platform it is. And there were a couple of other programs apart from the main plenary sessions, the exhibition, and the dinners. There were sessions for women, yes, but I can't remember seeing anything about youth. So for NIES 2022, when the Strategic Women and Youth Initiative came up with the Youth Idea Lab, I was very excited, not just because we are going to be welcoming innovations and inventions towards cleaner energy, but because that platform is the most powerful platform for the energy industry in Nigeria right now. I already have an idea of the kind of people that will be seeing those innovations, that will be listening to those ideas. Because if the selected inventors are put in the booth, for instance, because I know how the exhibition space is, if they are put in the booth, just as is characteristic, all the stakeholders, the biggest stakeholders in the industry, will go from booth to booth. So they are going. The NNPC GMD is going to see their innovations and listen to them. Minister of State for Petroleum, Timi Priya-Silva, is going to be there. Last year, I not only had the opportunity to talk with MDs of some of the IOCs like Shell MD. I even have selfies with MD Osage Okumbo of Shell. I have a selfie with Mike Sangster of Total. So these are the kind of people that will be listening to those inventors and those innovators. So, and that's why, if not for my schedule, when I was in Benin for a meeting, I even went to the youth club, the energy club in Uniben. When my schedule permits, I will go to Uniport, I will go to River State University, I will go to as many universities around. In fact, today, while I was surfing online, I discovered that there's an institute called Center for Energy Research and Development. There are about 4 federal universities that have domiciled in them, Center for Energy Research and Development, directly funded by the federal government. And I put a call through. I was able to get the contact of the director for the for that institute in UNN. I even put a call through, because I know most of them have been sleeping, because there's no pressure on them. They get subventions yearly from the federal government, and it's not impacting. So I put a call through. The guy was talking to me, but at a point he cut the call and he didn't pick, the call again, because I'm sure he was scared. Because I told him what programs do you have, what plans, and he said their first training for 2022 will start in May. I wasn't even sure. So I've been advocating, I've been spreading the news because, like I said, we need to own our own technology. I was listening to a woman in the morning by name Susan Ockfield. She's the president emeritus of Massachusetts Institute of Technology. And I see that these guys have a vision, because it's not going to happen by a fluke. We are not going to become technology sufficient, by a fluke. And what she said is, for them in the US, they want to first to innovate, first to design, first to produce, and first to position. So if we as a nation, don't, determinedly bring these innovators on board, expose them to the kind of world they have never seen. For instance, I'm going to be very honest, that NIPS 2021 introduced me to a world I never knew existed. Imagine, a lot of people have worked in Shell for 30 years, they have not met their MD face to face. A lot of people have worked and retired in Total, they've not met Total MD face to face. I spoke with Timi Priya-Silva for about 5 minutes. I spoke with Malame Clary, NNPC GMD for about 5 minutes. That's a very powerful platform. And so that's why I want everyone that has an idea and an innovation to send in their entry and get an opportunity, to be on that platform. I mean, the sky will just be a starting point. I mean, the possibilities are limitless.
Okay, brilliant. Now, thank you very much. That was extremely, absolutely passionate. Omono, I see there's somebody else here who is on fire right now. Olumide is on fire right now, and I can feel that energy. Kelvin has been silent for a little bit, so I want him. We're running towards we're running out of time right now. So what I want to do is, throw it out there to each and every one of you to say your few last words that will support the summit, that will make sure that everybody within your circles, within your own communities, will be taking part in the summit that's coming up quite soon, so that everyone, as many people will hear about it, as many people will be able to take part in it. So that's exactly what I want you to do right now. So, Kelvin, this floor is for you. So, and as quick and as short as possible. Go ahead.
Okay, so just like Nuruddin has said, and Omono, I know that one of the things I'm saying I know because, of course, I'm one of those backstage that are trying to ensure that the Youth Idea Lab becomes a reality, a success. The platform is very important, right? And just like Olumide has rightly mentioned, you cannot joke with this platform. You can't take it for granted. So for me, from day one, from the get-go, I have been pushing this out. I've been trying to reach out to all the young people in my network. And when I say young people, I don't just mean 1, 2, or 3. I'm talking about training institutions, talking about the YPN network across Africa. So we have been pushing this out because it's very important that young people realize that they have a platform to show what they are doing, what they are dreaming of, what they are working on. And I can tell you clearly, having worked with youth over the past 10 years, one of the key challenge they have is the platform, right? Many of them are very innovative. They are very creative, right? Just last year, I helped a team that went ahead to develop a locally made ventilator, right? And so you have people like this. They are doing all sorts of things. They want to come out and solve problems. And that's what the Youth Idea Lab is providing. The platform to recognize and identify those that are putting effort to solve problems in the clean energy space.
Brilliant. Very, very brilliant. Now, I want to call in Chris. Chris, this is yours. Now the floor is yours. So tell us why and how very, very impactful this summit is going to be. So go ahead.
Thanks a lot, Ehi. One thing I would want to say is I was slightly disappointed when I went for a presentation at the COP by the Global Environment Facility. So they showed a view of the resources that have been allocated to Nigeria and to a number of developing and least developed countries that have not been used for climate mitigation, adaptation, and resilience. What that tells me is a lot of the people that could potentially have contributed to making those funds become projects and actually lead that charge are not involved. I'm so excited about what Olumide has just said, and Kevin as well. And the reason is because I see the Ideas Lab as an opportunity and a platform to gather youth together and get us the momentum to actually dive into the available support globally and the funding and financing that is available to actually lead the charge and actually transform the ideas and the funding available to actual climate mitigation, right, and projects. So one thing I would say is if you're out there, you're a youth, and you're looking for the opportunity to get busy, number one. Number two, to contribute remarkably to the climate action and the climate mitigation that we are all talking about, and to help diversify the Nigerian energy system and increase the clean energy penetration in our energy mix. This opportunity is for you. Make sure you attend the Ideas Lab. Make sure you ask the right questions, and then hopefully you'll be able to access the funding to actually transition or get your idea from just being an idea to actual projects that will benefit us all as a country and globally.
Brilliant. I want to talk to Dr. Wisdom. I know we've held you down for a while, so we're going to talk to Dr. Wisdom now, and hopefully he can say something to, in closing. what is the future of clean energy in Nigeria? Is it something? It's a dream right now. We're all working towards that reality. Do you see it actually happening and making real impact in the lives of people of Nigeria and Africa and the world? Are we going to be the leaders then?
Yes, I very much think so, that we have the opportunity and we have the resources in terms of human capital to be the leaders of clean energy. And the reason I say this is I come from a background where my PhD was in automotive. And I can tell you without a doubt that when it comes to the consumption value chain, we have a lot of aftermarket products, fuel additives, and catalysts, what we call oxidation catalysts, that are used to actually reduce the carbon emissions from the fossil fuel. Now, that is a lot of what I played with from a research standpoint when I was doing my PhD, and I can tell you a lot of it is actually being used by the very energy efficient, conscious, populace in the developed world. So certainly, I feel we just need to keep sensitizing, both from the consumption standpoint in Nigeria, we could begin to see that. So what it is from the production, we need a change in attitude. From the processing, we need a change in attitude, more carbon-friendly methods of processing. And from the consumption, of course, we need a change in attitude. What the Youth Lab allows is a cross-pollination of ideas where the youth will listen to the problems that we're having across this value chain, and they'll bring solutions to the bear. And then we have the more experienced people who would say this is applicable because of, this is applicable or this is not applicable, because we need to understand the energy sector or the energy, sector is a very, very unforgiving environment. So there are a lot of fantastic ideas that won't just fly on the basis of safety. So the cross-pollination of those ideas will make sure that we have a good harmony between what is possible and what is feasible. Thank you very much.
Brilliant. I know that Omona is waiting. She's ready to go. She's ready to go. So Omona, the floor is yours right now. Please tell us, give us your insight on this same issue.
Okay. Well, the Youth Idea Lab is a great platform for young people to come forward, put their ideas forward, and show that they want to be deliberate about proffering solutions to our energy challenges, right? So, I mean, just come forward and give your own views, your own ideas, and innovations, and build on what already exists. And another thing I'd like to add is that every country is different, right? Every country has their own realities. Nigeria has its own realities. So I think it's high time we build products or solutions that are in line with our existing realities. So, and the young people can do that. There is no one better than them that can do it. So, I mean, this platform is great for them to come forward and be deliberate about offering solutions to our energy challenges. And I can't wait to see what happens.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Mono. I'll just give I'll call on the last two guests that we have right now. Then I will come to Blessing to close this discussion up for us, if that's okay with you guys. Okay, so let's talk to Dozier. Dozier, please sell this product. Let them know what they're in for. Let them know how special, how impactful this summit is going to be.
Chris, thank you very much. So let me start by talking about hardware, because I'm playing into the hardware space. So we are talking about energy transition, talking about the youth. Two things. Most youth these days believe more about running software, running apps and stuff like that. You most likely not see many people building hardware stuff like I do. For me, I've been building hardware for a while. Any of my apartments, I tend to use one room for like a mini workshop where I do my stuff, right? So for the youth lab, I don't want it to be some sort of what's it called, just coming together to discuss and just talk blah blah blah. It should be more of where this youth can actually try out the invention, try the hands-on, try out some basic machine stuff like 3D printers, CNC miller cutter machines, so we can segment people that are actually ready to bring prototypes to real life, stuff like that. So I believe the youth hub will actually be very exciting when it comes to not just having verbal discussions alone or talking about app-based software, but hands-on things. Because talking about energy, right? Energy has to do with physical products, right? So more physical products. So we're trying to build systems that can power the entire village, a community, or even just your house, right? So these are physical products that needs people that will try their hands on and bring their ideas to life. So I'm looking forward to see young people doing real stuff, not just app-based and stuff, what have you. Thank you.
Okay, brilliant. So last word for you, Nuruddin. Sell your job, sell it, let them know. This is very, very important. This is very, very important. It will affect you, it will affect us, it will affect the whole world. So it's very important that you tell your community what they're looking forward to with the Youth Idea Lab.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Thank you very much. Yeah, this, as I said earlier, this initiative is a very good initiative for youth to get involved in the energy space. Youth are the most affected in the for the climate crisis we are in, because they are the leader of the leader of tomorrow, as I am also. So I think those people that are watching us live now, what I will just say is live a purpose-driven life, have a vision and passion for what you are doing. Make sure you apply for this program. Make sure you apply the opportunity. This is an opportunity for you to get involved. Apply for the opportunity. Don't just let the opportunity go away. And for the people I have right in my community here in Kano, I have a lot of people that are telling me, I have an idea on the energy, I have an idea on the project, I'm working on a project, I'm working on this, I'm working on that. This is a great opportunity for them to apply and get involved, bring their idea and find a solution to the energy poverty in Nigeria and the entire sub-Saharan Africa. Yeah, as my friend said, Guadeloupe, it's not just about software. We can't all get involved in software application, just creating software. We should also get involved in hardware. Because this energy space is mainly hardware system. So we should get involved in creating hardware system for the energy transition. Thank you.
Brilliant. So in closing, I want you guys, just don't go anywhere just yet. Blessing, this one is for you. Just wrap everything up and let us know what's ahead for us. This is an amazing team, I must say.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone. Honestly, thank you so much. I've learned so much just sitting here listening to you guys. It's been an amazing thing to see this come to life as it has. I must add, the Youth Idea Lab, like has been said, it's not just about coming to talk or to listen to people talk. It is about you coming forward with your own ideas, with your own prototypes, with your research, whatever it is you have. Please bring it, share it. Now is not the time to go and pray. Now is the time to act. You have been waiting for this opportunity. Here it is. Please take it with both hands. Come forward, sign up. Let us know what you have. Share it with us. Bring it forward. We're happy to support you in any way we can, but we want to see what you have. We want to see the ideas. We want to see your research. We want to see the prototypes. And with everyone involved, as you can see, we're going to do what we can to scale your product. So please come forward. The Youth Idea Lab is for you. And now is the time. Sign up, register, and attend.
Brilliant. So you guys, wow, this is, I'm literally speechless. So this has been the most exciting group that I have spoken to in a long time. And you guys are amazing. Olumide, thank you. Kelvin, thank you. Blessing, Omono, Dozier, Dr. Wisdom, Nuruddin, Chris, and Mervin, and everyone who has been a part of it. I know a lot of you have gone on to your jobs for today. But thank you very much. And hey, stay with us. We will be back again to talk to each and every one of you at some point before the summit takes place. And even after the summit takes place, we will have, so that we talk about individual things, see how the progress is going. We hopefully will be able to cover that event live here and on different platforms. So do stay with us. And in a roundup, what we have been talking about today has mostly been about the summit coming up on the 27th. I will just throw that out there, on the 27th of February till the 3rd of March 2022. We're talking about the NIES Youth Idea Lab taking place in Abuja, Nigeria. So the Blessing, one more thing before we leave. I think it's possible for people to still sign up, I guess, right?
Yes, it is. We're still open. Yes.
Okay, the sign up is still open for everyone to be part of it, so do just that. And you guys, thank you very much, and hopefully we will talk to you guys soon again, I hope, right? All right, so that has been the show for today. It has been an amazing time talking to each and every one of those really, really brilliant individuals here today. So until next time, I am Ehin Akimil. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.